Good day everyone. So we are the group 7 and today we are going to discuss our topic, which is the Confucianism, together with my group mates Alexis Shane Encino, Krisha De La Roya, Jehan Emuday, and me Angelica C. Beltran. Our topics include the following. First is the historical background, the life of Confucius, sacred scriptures, Confucian doctrines and beliefs, worship practices and observances, and lastly, development of Confucianism. Historical background of Confucianism. Confucianism is a philosophy and belief system from ancient China, which laid the foundation for much of Chinese culture. Kongqiu, or Confucius, was a philosopher and teacher who lived from 551 to 479 BCE. His thoughts on ethics, good behavior, and moral character were written down by his disciples in several books, the most important being Lunyu. So Lunyu is one of the texts of Confucianism, or the Analects of Confucius. So it covers almost all of the basic ethical concepts of Confucius. Confucianism believes in ancestors' worship and human-centered virtues for living a peaceful life. The golden rule of Confucianism is do not do unto others what you would not want others to do unto you. So, Confucianism is a philosophy which developed by Kongqiu or Confucius from China. So, the main concept of the Confucianism is thoughts on ethics, which means having good behavior and moral character. So, the Confucianism believes if the person has virtues which means doing the good thing and avoiding the wrong thing. So if the people chooses to live their life with virtues, so the people can have a peaceful life. Katulad na lang ng the golden rule of Confucianism, do not do unto others what you would not want others to do unto you. So it is a guidance to prevent conflicts and disaster kasi if ayaw mong gumawa yung tao ng masama sa iyo, so don't do harsh thing to them. So kaya yung Confucianism is one of the guidance people around the world to have a peaceful life kasi they teaches good ethical values. The main idea of Confucianism is the importance of having a good moral character, which can then affect the world around that person through the idea of cosmic harmony. So, cosmic harmony is having a good moral character. If the emperor has moral perfection, his rule will be peaceful and benevolent. So, benevolent is being kind. Natural disaster and conflict are the result of straying from the ancient teachings. So as I said before, Confucianism is yung main concept nila is on ethics. So it is important talaga to live your life having a cosmic harmony or good moral character, to have a peaceful and kind life. Then if the person is avoiding or not following the ancient teachings of the Confucianism, so it will be result having a life full of disasters and conflicts. The moral character is achieved through the virtue of Ren or humanity, which leads to more virtuous behaviors such as respect, altruism, and humility. Confucius believed in the importance of education in order to create this virtuous character. So, Confucius believed the importance of the education kasi the education is the building blocks or one of the foundation on us to obtain what is right or wrong, and in order for us to live a life with virtuous character. The idea of filial piety or devotion to family is key to Confucius' thought. This devotion can take the form of ancestors' worship, submissions to parental authority, or the use of family metaphors such as Son of Heaven to describe the emperor and his government. The family was the most important group for Confucian ethics, and devotion to family could only strengthen the society surrounding it. Confucianism remains one of the most influential philosophies in China. During the Han Dynasty, Emperor Hu Di, reigned 141 to 87 BCE, made Confucianism the official state ideology. During this time, Confucius schools were established to teach Confucian ethics. Confucianism existed alongside Buddhism and Taoism for several centuries as one of the most important Chinese religions. The life of Confucius. Confucius was born probably in 551 BC, lunar calendar, in present-day Gufu, Shandong province of China. He hailed from the lower aristocracy and pursued a career in government service, aiming to implement his ideas of social harmony in moral governance. Throughout his life, Confucius traveled extensively, offering advice to rulers and teaching his philosophy to students. Despite facing political turmoil and personal setbacks, he remained dedicated to his principles of ethical conduct, proper governance, and the cultivation of personal virtues. Confucius' teachings, recorded primarily in the Analects by his disciples, emphasized the importance of filial piety, social hierarchy, moral integrity, and the cultivation of one's character. His philosophy, Confucianism, profoundly influenced Chinese culture, politics, and society, enduring for over 2 millennia and spreading beyond China's borders. Confucius died on November 21, 479 BC in Kyoto, China, a year after losing his son, Cholu, in a battle. At the time of his death, Confucius was convinced that his teachings had not made a significant impact on Chinese culture, even though his teaching would go on to become the official imperial philosophy of China. And his followers held a funeral and established a mourning period in his honor.
Types of sacred scriptures. One is great learning. Great learning is a uses of many times of Chinese philosophy and also uses themes of political thinking. Number two is doctrine of the main. So the doctrine of the main teaches that too much is bad as too little. Next is Mencius. Mencius is a collection of the conversation Mencius had with Kongzi. Mencius places a strong emphasis on the responsibility of the emperor to practice good. Next is the Analects. Also known as the Saying of Confucius, is an ancient Chinese philosophical text composed of saying and ideas attributed to Confucius and his contemporaries, traditionally believed to have been compiled by his followers. Next is the Book of Rites or a Classic of Rites. This is to describe prehistoric rites, social forms, and the court ceremonies. Next is the Book of Documents or a Book of History. This is a complication of speeches of major figures and records of events in ancient times, embodying the political vision. So next is Classic of Changes or I Ching. This is a comparison book that compares other religions and countries to Confucianism. Next is the Spring and Autumn Annals. This is a historical record of Lu, place where Confucius was born. The last one is a Chinese classics. This is used a form of written Chinese Confucius imitated by later authors, now known as classical Chinese. Confucian doctrines and beliefs. Confucianism believes in ancestor worship and human-centered virtues for living a peaceful life. The golden rule of Confucianism is do not do unto others what would not want others to do unto you. These are the considered to be the five constant virtues of Confucianism. Ren is the virtue of benevolence and humanity. Ye is that of honesty and uprightness. Z is knowledge and wisdom. Next is Zin is a faithfulness and integrity. The last one is Li. Li is a propriety, good manners, and worship.
The worship, practices, and observance of Confucianism. Worship. Some says Confucianism is more a description of how to be a good person than a spiritual practice. However, after Confucius' death, people built temples in his honor. There are ceremonies that take place in these temples. Confucius believed that heaven is the author of the virtue that is in me. He meant that he saw heaven itself as a kind of God, the God of supreme being who created virtue in us. This helps of how Confucianism is more than just a code of behavior. Also, over time aspects of Buddhism and Taoism have influenced Confucianism. Many people practice a combination of these religions. The practices, as respect of elders and ancestors, is the chief concern of Confucianism and is practiced by many Chinese in the home, at temples, and at the graves of relatives. A common Confucian practice includes ancestral tablets and shrines dedicated to deceased elders. An ancestral tablet is often made of stones and includes names of ancestors carved in list. Shrines to ancestors often consist of portraits of deceased elders, such as parents or grandparents, and usually includes an incense stick holder. Those showing their respect will clasp incense in the palm of both hands, kneel before the portrait or tablet, and place the burning incense in the holder. Observance. The most important Confucianism holidays include the Qingming Festival. Qingming Festivals means pure brightness festival. It takes place on the equinox as holidays devoted to remembering and honoring the deceased people. Sweep and decorate grave sites, burn incense and paper money, and make foods offerings. Confucius' birthday. In Chinese history, Confucius is a paragon of all teachers. He symbolized the philosophy of educating all without discrimination. These holidays not only honor Confucius and his teachings, but also emphasize us the values such as pity, respect for ancestors, and the importance of the rituals. In maintaining social harmony and participating in this observance and allows us or the followers to connect deeply with their cultural heritage and the principles of Confucianism.
The development of Confucianism. Confucianism developed from the teachings of Confucius, Kongfuzi, in an ancient China around the 5th century BCE. Confucius emphasized ethical principles and social harmony. His ideas were further developed by his disciples, particularly Mencius and Shunzi, who expanded on his teachings and applied them to various aspects of life and governance. Over time, Confucianism became deeply ingrained in Chinese society, influencing politics, education, and culture. It went through periods of flourishing and suppression but remained a dominant philosophical and ethical system in East Asia for centuries. Confucianism also adapted to changing circumstances, incorporating elements from other philosophies and religions such as Taoism and Buddhism. Today, it continues to shape Chinese society and has influenced other East Asian cultures as well.